Boa tarde. I'm here to present a project that I'm involved with, which is Ziphius. It's an aquatic drone that we are developing, and we are intending to sell it globally. Everything started almost 2 years ago when we decided that we would like to build a product, and that product would be the first of a new generation of robotic systems for ocean exploration. It was our first product, and we wanted it to be a success, so many people would get one. But we also wanted that to be a learning experience for us, to learn not only the technology and how do you build a product that can be sold worldwide, but also to give us the knowledge and the financial resources to pursue this idea to have a new generation of robotic tools that would be more easy to use and more accessible for enabling all of us to get into ocean exploration. And we aimed at the ocean because it's the last human frontier, and also because it holds a lot of wonders and economic resources that can only be explored but also preserved if many people and diverse type of people have the access to the tools to do it. And so that was one of our major goals, is to create this new generation of tools that would be easier to use and also accessible to many, because right now most of the tools that exist to perform ocean exploration, they are really expensive and require a very sophisticated high level of knowledge to use them. So the question was, what would be this first product that we could develop? We knew that to be a mass market product, we needed to use technology that most people would have. So we wanted to make it a robot, and that robot could have its control and also its user interface in what everyone has in their pocket right now, which is a smartphone or a tablet. And this would be useful for us not only because it would be easy to have people that would like to have it, but also because it would be the use of a tool that people already know how to use it. And so that was something that we would like to pursue. The other thing was that we wanted the robot to have a camera, so it could capture images from underwater and from the aquatic environments, because we all know how magical it is to see what's underwater. Like, I can tell by myself that I grew up watching the Jacques Cousteau's TV shows, and that was really attractive, and it made me stay on watching TV for a long time. And the other thing is, we also knew that if we wanted people to get one and to be willing to have one, we should design it to be cute and adorable, so people would see it as their own pet. And so that was how Ziphius was thought, and that was the beginning of an amazing adventure that we are living for almost these last 2 years. At that time, when we decided the major characteristics of the product, we were actually really in the tip of one iceberg, because developing an hardware product and really wanting to make it a global product, it involves a lot of challenges and learning experiences. It involves learning and knowing about different topics, from the hardware to the software, and also to how do you design a product, but also how can you communicate that product? How can you attract the fans to produce the product? Because if it's now easier than ever to build an hardware product because you have now tools that you didn't have some time ago. You also need to have more sophistication in terms of the tools that you need to use. And so that was one of the challenges we had to pursue. And so we thought that we should stick to this adventure and dive into the ocean to know what could we start doing. As I was referring, the development of hardware products right now, it's much easier because now you have open source platforms that you, hardware open source platforms that you can use that are much easier to use and attach to all the sensors and actuators and all the motors and create your own prototype. Also, there's now these digital fabrication tools that are also more easily accessible. So it is easy from a sketch or a 3D model from your computer to make the physical object. So since we knew what were the characteristics that we were looking for, in a couple of months, and because we were lucky to have in our team people that master these tools, we were able to build a first working prototype. And so building an hardware, and this is not this is a trend right now in terms of technologies. Technologies is that the hardware is not only the classical hardware product that you would use only the electronic components. Now you also have to integrate that with the software level, and the software level has a lot of impact on the user experience. And we knew that that should be a focus for in our product development. And so having a rapid prototype, it was crucial for us to decide how to evolve the product development. That has allowed us to go into a more sophisticated product design, which also required to use more sophisticated prototype tools. So we also wanted to pursue the path from the prototype to an industrial product. And so that's also an important step to consider, that the prototype that you design first, which can make use of the objects that you have close by, need to evolve to a design that is more close to the tools that you will use when it's going to start to be mass produced. And so this was the prototype that we have developed, and that we think it's much closer to the final product that we will have available. At that point, when you have a prototype that already knows what will be the tools to make it produced, what you need also to do is to get the funds to do that step, because that step involves, it's much more demanding in terms of financial resources. And that's also where we were in a good position, because right now another trend that you can observe in all the developments of the hardware products is that right now there are some funding platforms, crowdfunding platforms that allow the people that are enthusiastic about your idea to help you and support your production process. And so we knew that there were some crowdfunding platforms, and that would be the route for us to go. And that was something that was also an issue that we considered with great thought was how could we use these type of platforms not only to get more funds, but also to make our brands and our products known worldwide. And actually, if you look at the use of this type of crowdfunding platforms, that's one of the most visible outcomes of using this approach to also finance your project. So marketing and getting your product known, it's an important step that you need to work deeply, and understanding how can you make your product a global one. And so with this prototype, we went into Kickstarter, because it was the crowdfunding platform that was targets the market that we were also targeting, which is mainly the United States market and in the more international countries. And also, it allowed us, it would allow us to be in the rank of the top hardware products that are being developed in this new age of hardware products. We were lucky at that point because we spotted a contest promoted by Engadget, which is one of the major technological blogs, and there are people in our team that read that type of blogs every day, and so they spotted a contest where they were looking for the most promising ideas for hardware products that could go into crowdfunding. And we thought that was the perfect opportunity for us. And so that would fit, and at the point where we were at that point was exactly perfect, because we had already a prototype being produced that was closer to be the final product, and we could use it to get to know, to be known by the world. So that's how we started to make the Ziphius known by the world. We asked for the help of family and friends, and with the help of a lot of work on social media to help us on this contest, because this contest had two measures of success, and one of them was the votes from that you would get from your communication channels. So we got shortlisted, we were to the final, and we won the first prize. That also gave us money, but more than that, it gave us international visibility. And so what we learned about that is that we spent 2 days in San Francisco for the Engadget event. And what we learned from that was that we could dream to make an international product, and it could be possible. And so after that, we went into Kickstarter, we were successfully funded, and started to have Ziphius known and published in different international magazines. We know that we are still above the water level. We have not managed yet to get into the beneath the water level of the iceberg, but we know that we are closer than ever to get the product done and available to everyone in international technological stores. And we know that we will have a lot of work to do still to get that. And we are working, but what we also know is that we have learned that it's possible to start with an idea, and in a short period, like 2 months, to be funded and get your product to be known by people all over the world. And that's something that I would like to tell you today. And even if this travel, it still has a lot of work to be done, we know that it's possible to get to here. So thank you very much for your attention.